Zach, I want you to, like I said, I want you to give me the briefing on meeting situations and allow adequate clearance. Okay?
Okay.
I'd like you to think of me as a partially trained driver. Alright, this is the first time you've given me a driving lesson because my other driving instructor is poorly. Alright?
Yeah.
You have had a discussion with him to see what we was planning to do today.
Yeah.
So we're going to plan to look at adequate clearance and meeting situations. So I'd like to give him the briefing on adequate clearance and meeting situations, please. I'd like you to refer to me as Mark.
Okay. Right. Hi, Mark. How are
Morning.
you?
Fine,
You
thank
alright?
you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, your driving instructor wasn't able to make today. He wasn't feeling well,
Yeah.
so I had to cover up. He had told me some of the things that you've done with him. Now we're gonna actually do adequate clearance and meeting situations
Yeah.
today with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you know what adequate clearance mean?
No.
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 Right, okay. Now, when you're actually going past the parked cars, you'll have cars on both sides, left and right,
Yeah.
keeping the distance from those parked cars. Now, the distance you'll be keeping is 1 meter from those parked cars, but just in case, sometimes you do have very narrow road,
Yeah.
so it depends. Now, if there's cars coming in on the opposite side, so you will try to keep that adequate clearance, but you might have to keep that gap slightly smaller.
Oh, okay.
You have to slow your car down as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you actually driving behind a car,
Yeah.
would you know what distance you'll be keeping behind that car?
Was it 2 cars?
2 second rule.
Oh,
two
yeah,
two
yeah,
cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why would you actually do that? Why would you keep that distance behind that car?
I don't know.
Just in case he brakes suddenly. That's one of the things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If he has to stop, because he has to allow enough clearance for him to go through, because you've got cars parked on both sides.
Yeah.
So now, if that car stopped, and how far should you be stopping behind that car?
Close.
How close is that? When you say close, how close is it?
I don't know. I can't remember the distance.
Right. Okay. Now, you've driven on the road, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So how far do you usually keep on? Your instructor, what does he say to you? How far should you be behind those cars? Has he given you any reference points?
No. No.
Okay. Did he say where you can see the tyres on the tarmac?
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
When you're parking behind a car, this is
Yeah.
how far you should be. Now, remember again, sometimes the car could break down,
Yeah.
or he could roll back.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that safe distance behind him.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a smaller gap behind that car, what would happen? Where can you keep that smaller gap?
Where can I keep the small
Yeah.
gap? Well, behind that car.
Yeah. Is there any place?
Heavy traffic.
Yeah, but you still need to keep that distance though, yeah?
Oh.
If the car's going really slow, sometimes you will get a bit too close, but you still have to keep that distance. Now, the distance with the parked cars on the left-hand side, obviously you know it's 1 meter,
Yeah.
but sometimes you might not be able to, keep that distance.
Yeah.
So try to keep enough distance though. And the second thing is the meeting situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you know what the meeting situation is?
Oh, is this a meeting situation? What we're doing now?
Yeah. It's a meeting situation, isn't it? Next.
Yeah.
Adequate clearance, yeah. It's a meeting situation. You know what a meeting situation word means?
No.
Right, okay. Now, if you're driving down the road, you might have cars parked on the left and right hand side. You might have seen them on some of the roads.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, you've got cars on the opposite side. You
Yeah.
have to assess if these cars are going to let you go. Sometimes they say to you, have an eye contact with them.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, you can't see the person in the car,
Yeah.
but you have to have a look at the car, the tyre, the position of the car, or what this person's going to be doing. If he's bringing his car out, obviously you know he's not going to be stopping there.
Yeah.
So you must stop and give him way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, tell me something else. If there's cars, if you had to stop the car on the left-hand side, what sort of a gap would you be looking for? Do you know?
Stop on the left-hand side.
Yeah. If you're going to let this car go,
Oh.
and you have to find your hold back position where you're going to be holding the car back.
Oh, you said earlier about the tyres and tarmac, where you see tyres and
If
tarmac.
there was just your car there was no cars at the front of you, then what position would you be looking for?
I don't know.
The gap on the left hand side between the cars? Because it's going to be hold back position, you're going to be holding the car
Oh, I
back.
don't know what the hold back position is.
Right, where you'll be actually stopping your car on the back
Yeah.
and giving this person time to go through
Oh.
or past you.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, you're not obviously going to park the car inside, totally inside, behind that car. If you do, what is the cars behind you going to think then?
If you parked right behind them,
Well, if you park the car too far to the left,
oh, that's where they're going to think I've parked up.
you're parked up. So what you're going to be doing, you are going to be on the right hand side, but on the left hand side of that centre line. Because you'll be using them brakes,
Yeah.
so they'll know you're actually just waiting there for that car to pass, yeah? Now, if there was any cars just on your side and there's no cars on the right hand side, well, who do you think has way of right?
Just say that again.
If there was a car parked on the left hand side,
Yeah.
the side that you're driving on,
Yeah.
and there was no cars on the right hand side,
Yeah.
no cars parked,
Yeah.
do you think you should give it to the other car?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because you said the car's parked on left hand side.
On your side.
Yeah.
Now, just say if there was you were going down a road, and you know your side was actually the left side was clear, and the right hand side there were some parked cars there,
Yeah.
and there was a car coming on the opposite side. Now he had a gap on his side.
Yeah.
Whereabouts would you park the car?
I've no idea.
I mean, would you like this one here? We've got a diagram here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As you can see, there's a gap here. There's a car coming from that side.
Yeah.
Now, the hold back position, whereabouts would you be holding back?
Right back at the beginning where those parked cars are.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can be up to there, and this car, sometimes you think there's a gap and it doesn't stop, so you have to hold back where there's a gap so he can go into his gap and you can
Oh.
go past him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your hold back position and the meeting situation, we call it. Yeah.
Okay.
Advocate clearance is again where you've got enough space for that car to go past you.
Yeah.
I think that's it on that.
Okay. Right. Thanks.